Imagine volunteering for a scientific experiment, thinking it's completely safe, only to realize you might never leave alive. From mind control programs to nuclear accidents, history is full of experiments that went terribly wrong. Today we're counting down 10 of the strangest experiments that ended in disaster, and number 1 caused one of the worst catastrophes in human history. Before we begin, subscribe for more mind-blowing facts and mysterious stories every week. 10. The Elephant LSD Experiment. In 1962, scientists at a zoo in Oklahoma decided to test the effects of LSD on animals. Their subject was a 14-year-old elephant named Tusko. Instead of giving a small experimental dose, the researchers injected Tusko with a massive amount of LSD, nearly 3,000 times what a human might take. Within minutes, the elephant began acting strangely. He trumpeted loudly, ran in circles, and then suddenly collapsed. Despite attempts to save him, Tusko died less than 2 hours later. The experiment shocked the scientific community. Later researchers admitted the dosage was extremely reckless. Today, the incident is remembered as one of the strangest and most tragic animal experiments ever conducted. 9. The Russian Sleep Experiment. One of the most disturbing stories ever told online involves a secret experiment during the 1940s. According to the story, researchers kept 5 prisoners awake for 15 days using a special gas stimulant. At first, the subjects talked normally and behaved calmly. But after several days without sleep, their mental state began to collapse. They started whispering to themselves, screaming for hours, and showing signs of extreme paranoia. When scientists finally opened the chamber, they allegedly found the subjects severely injured and mentally destroyed. While historians debate whether this experiment actually happened, the story became one of the most terrifying scientific legends ever shared on the internet. 8. The Stanford Prison Experiment. In 1971, psychologist Philip Zimbardo conducted a famous experiment at Stanford University. 24 college students volunteered to participate in a simulated prison. Some were randomly assigned as guards, while others became prisoners. What happened next shocked everyone involved. Within days, the guards began acting aggressively and abusing their power. Prisoners experienced emotional breakdowns, panic attacks, and extreme stress. The experiment was supposed to last 2 weeks, but it had to be stopped after only 6 days. It revealed how quickly ordinary people can adopt cruel behavior when given authority. 7. The Demon Core Accident. Near the end of World War II, scientists were studying a dangerous piece of plutonium known as the Demon Core. The core was used in nuclear research and required extremely careful handling. During one experiment, physicist Louis Slotin was demonstrating how close the core could get to a nuclear reaction. He used a screwdriver to keep 2 metal pieces apart. But the screwdriver slipped. For a split second, the core went supercritical, releasing a burst of deadly radiation. Slotin received a lethal dose and died 9 days later. The same core had already caused another fatal accident before this one. After that, scientists refused to handle it manually ever again. 6. The Soviet Fox Experiment. In the 1950s, Soviet scientists began a strange experiment. They wanted to see if wild animals could be turned into domesticated pets. They started breeding silver foxes, selecting only the friendliest ones. After several generations, something incredible happened. The foxes didn't just become tame, they began behaving like dogs. They wagged their tails, sought human attention, and even changed physically. Their ears flopped, and their fur patterns changed. While the experiment proved domestication could happen quickly, it also showed how dramatically genetics can alter animals in unexpected ways. 5. The Philadelphia Experiment. One of the most mysterious experiments ever rumored involves a U.S. Navy ship during World War II. According to conspiracy theories, the military attempted to make a destroyer called the USS Eldridge invisible using powerful electromagnetic fields. Witnesses claimed the ship suddenly vanished in a flash of green light and reappeared miles away. Some stories even say sailors experienced horrifying side effects, including madness and strange physical injuries. To this day, the Navy denies the experiment ever happened. But the legend continues to fascinate conspiracy theorists around the world. 4. The MKUltra Mind Control Project. During the Cold War, intelligence agencies secretly ran a program called MKUltra. The goal was to develop techniques for mind control and psychological manipulation. Researchers experimented with drugs like LSD, hypnosis, and sensory deprivation. Many subjects didn't even know they were part of an experiment. Some experienced severe mental trauma that lasted for years. When the program was exposed in the 1970s, it caused a massive public scandal. MKUltra remains one of the most controversial government experiments ever revealed. 3. Biosphere 2. In the early 1990s, scientists created an enormous sealed environment in Arizona called Biosphere 2. The project was designed to simulate a self-sustaining ecosystem like one that might exist on another planet. 8 volunteers entered the structure and planned to live there for 2 years. But things quickly went wrong. Oxygen levels dropped dangerously low. Food became scarce. And the crew members began arguing constantly. The experiment showed how incredibly complex Earth's ecosystems really are. Recreating them turned out to be far harder than scientists expected. 2. Human radiation experiments. During the mid-20th century, some researchers conducted experiments exposing humans to radiation. In several cases, patients were injected with radioactive materials without fully understanding the risks. The goal was to study how radiation affects the human body. But many participants suffered serious long-term health problems. When these experiments were revealed decades later, they sparked outrage and led to stricter ethical rules in scientific research. 1. The Chernobyl Safety Test. In 1986, engineers at a nuclear power plant in the Soviet Union attempted a safety test. They wanted to see if the reactor could continue producing power during an emergency shutdown. But during the test, several critical mistakes were made. The reactor became unstable and exploded. The explosion released massive amounts of radioactive material into the atmosphere. Entire cities were abandoned, and thousands of people were exposed to dangerous radiation. It became the worst nuclear disaster in human history. And it all started with an experiment that went horribly wrong. Science has the power to change the world, but these experiments show how dangerous curiosity can become when caution is ignored. Which of these experiments shocked you the most? Tell me in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, subscribe for more strange facts, mysteries, and unbelievable stories from history.